Hello and welcome to What the F*** Just Happened Today, your essential guide to the daily shock and awe in national politics. I'm Joe Amditis. Let's get to it. It's Wednesday, July 26th, 2023. Welcome to day 918. Rudy Giuliani conceded that he made false and defamatory statements about two Georgia election workers, saying they had mishandled ballots while counting votes in Atlanta during the 2020 election. Although Giuliani is no longer contesting the accusations by Ruby Freeman and Shay Moss, he argued that his false claims were constitutionally protected speech and did not damage the women. In 2021, Freeman and Moss sued Giuliani, accusing him of defaming them when he falsely claimed that they engaged in fraud while counting ballots at State Farm Arena in Atlanta. The lawsuit also accused Giuliani of promoting a selectively edited video that purportedly showed the two women manipulating ballots, which made them targets of a conspiracy theory spread by Trump and his allies. Meanwhile, Hunter Biden pleaded not guilty to federal tax charges after the judge refused to accept the terms of his initial plea deal. Biden originally agreed to plead guilty to two misdemeanor tax crimes that he committed in 2017 and 2018, with prosecutors agreeing to recommend probation. Prosecutors also agreed not to pursue a separate felony gun possession charge as long as Biden remains drug-free and agrees to never own a firearm again. Instead, the judge, a Trump appointee, asked the lawyers from both sides to clarify and limit the scope of the immunity deal after questioning whether the deal would protect Biden from potential future criminal charges. The hearing ended with Biden pleading not guilty for the time being. He's expected to reverse that plea if a new agreement meets the judge's approval. Moving on, the Federal Reserve raised interest rates to the highest level in 22 years. For the 11th time in the last 17 months, the Fed raised the benchmark federal funds rate from about 5.1% to 5.3%, after pausing rate increases in June. Inflation cooled in June to 3% from a peak of 9.1%, but still remains above the Federal Reserve's target of 2%. Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell said inflation has moderated somewhat since the middle of last year. Nonetheless, the process of getting inflation back down to 2% has a long way to go. The Congressional Budget Office, meanwhile, estimates that the United States economy will avoid slipping into a recession, with GDP projected to rise at a 0.4% annual rate in the second half of this year. And finally, a former national intelligence official turned whistleblower testified that the United States is concealing a longstanding program that retrieves and reverse engineers UFOs, also known as UAPs. David Grush appeared before the House Oversight Committee's National Security Subcommittee alongside two former fighter pilots who had first-hand experience with unidentified anomalous phenomena, or UAPs. Grush told lawmakers that during his work with a UAP task force, he was denied access to a UAP crash retrieval and reverse engineering program that had existed for decades. He added that the United States likely has been aware of non-human activity since the 1930s and claimed that the government has recovered non-human biologics from crashed UAPs. The Defense Department, meanwhile, said it has not discovered any verifiable information to substantiate claims that any programs regarding the possession or reverse engineering of extraterrestrial materials have existed in the past or exist currently. That's all for now. You can find the links and sources for all of these stories on the main website. And as always, visit whatthefjusthappenedtoday.com for the latest news and headlines. Until next time, I'm Joe Amditis.